and a very good evening, you guys. So for this video, actually I want to explain to you guys more detail about relative address and absolute address. Actually, this topic I already explained to you guys in our lab session for Excel, but for this video I want to explain more detail about absolute address. So before we start go through absolute address, I want to just simply go through for relative address, which we are actually already familiar with it. So for relative address, actually I give you an example. Let's say I want to perform calculation between data 1 and data 2. I want to multiply both data, which is 11 times with 5, and then I want to calculate the solution. So how? First of all, you click on the cell that you want to perform the calculation, and then if you want to start with formula, what you need to do is press equal sign and then press cell that contains 11 here, which is P4, times with our data 2, which is 5 here, and then press enter. Now you can see that 11 times with 5 should be 55. So using relative formula, you can copy this data and then you can just drag to find the next if you want to perform the next data here for data 1 and data 2. You can see the next row 18 and 6, 14 and 12. We also want to perform calculation for this data. So what can we do? Instead of typing one by one like this, you can just drag the whole thing like this, and after that you can see that if we drag like this, means that we copy the formula in the first cell that we already put before, and then the cell will just copy for the next to the next cell. So how to show this formula, how to look this formula that we already create for data 1 times data 2, can go to formula ribbon tab here, formula tab, and then click show formula, and then you can see B4 times C4, P5 times C5, P6 times C6, so respectively until the end of your data. So you can see here, you just now we put only formula for the first cell, right, for B4 times C4, and then after we copy and drag down, the formula change. So this is called as relative address, where relative address, the formula here actually the cell here for the next one change when a formula is copied to another cell. That means that this cell formula change when this is copied to another cell. Okay, you got it for relative address? Alright, so now I will show you for absolute address. Okay, absolute address, actually we got two methods to use absolute address. First, press F4, and then another one is define cell name. Okay, I will show you how to press F4 first. So let's say we want to solve a question where we want to calculate data 1 here times with 30. So what we can do is also use formula, which is, don't forget to press equal sign. I want to calculate 11 times 30 here, then I can just press the cell equal sign, and then this be 15 cell times with 30, and then I click on the cell and then press enter. So let's say I want to calculate for 18, 14 and until 13 here. What can I do? Should I copy and drag? Let's see what happens if I copy and drag the cell. So you can see here there is an error. So why? You can go to show formula and you can take a look for the formula. As you can see here, supposedly B15 times with E13, right? So it's good already. It's a correct formula. But for the next one, B16 times with, which is 18 here, is our B16, should be times with E13, not E14. And for B17 should be times with E13 here, not B15 here. So you can see that this problem occurs when we do not use absolute address. We actually want to fix our 13 here and we want to lock it so that after we copy into the next cell, it won't change the cell like this. So what can we do? Use absolute address, which is F4. So now I'm going to show you the method how to do it. So first, don't just use relative address like this. What you can do is press equal sign times with B15 should be times with the T, right? But since we want to make this set as a constant, what can we do is press press F4. After you press F4, you will find two dollar sign like this appear on before the alphabet and also before the column and also before the row, before the alphabet and before the number. So now press enter, you can see it is calculated, and now we're going to copy and drag this formula for the next data. Okay, you can see now, right? This data is moving, is just you can see right now there is no error on this data. So if you want to take a look at the formula, you can see here that all of this formula is actually multiplied. All of this data one here is multiplied by 30 for each cell. So this means if we log our cell here using absolute address using F4, that means this cell is gonna be a constant. So this is actually the absolute address, which means it is not changed, remain constant no matter where this cell is copied. Okay, so we can use F4. So another way also we can use define name. Okay, using the same data also, let's say other than press F4 on it, on this cell we put F4, we press F4, we lock it using F4, we can use define name. So you can see that our cell name right here is actually E24. So what can we do is we can change our name here as click define name, and then let's say we put this number here as a constant. Let's say this actually you can do up to your preference what kind of name you want. If you want to put variable also can, or you want to put as another name also can. Let's say you want to put my name, your own name, so I just put my name here, so can. So right now I'm gonna put constant, and after I click OK, then I can see that this one is not E24 anymore. This cell right now is named as constant. So how to use this one as its absolute address? Okay, go to this cell and then press equal sign if you want to calculate data 1 times with the T here in this cell. What can I do is I press 11 here times with the T. Just click on that cell, you can see constant B26 times with constant. This means it is already timed with the cell right now. So you can just press enter here, no need to press F4 anymore. And now it is calculated. So now what you can do is just copy and drag your data, your formula, then it will be calculated, and the answer should be same with the one that we do just now using F4 button. Here you can open your show formula so that you can see the formula. Now you can see without using without pressing F4, you also can use absolute address using define name. Okay, I can say that this one is a bit easy for you. It's more convenient and also easy for you to see and understand how to use absolute address. Okay, now this one is for absolute address when we log according to row and column. So you can see right on our F4 here, since we log on using, you can see that the $E and $13 here, that means we log our column and also we log this 30 according to row. So that means if we lock both for row and column, that means if we drag to column to the right side also, that to the right side here, we can see that 5 is actually times by 30, and you can see that if we lock for row, you can see 11 times with 30. So this is the function when this is the uses of using using F4 for both dollar sign here. So let's say if we press on this part and then you press F4 again. Okay, before I start this, I want to show you one slide. Okay, actually the one that we used just now for F4 is this one, which is the first one. The first one, dollar sign A, dollar sign 1. Okay, this means you lock your column and also you lock your row. You can see A is actually referred to our column, 1 is referred to our row. So if you use this absolute address which has two double sign here, that means you your cell right now will not change the value according to column, also according to row. So if you choose dollar sign in front of your alphabet, only in front of your alphabet, that means you only allow your column to be not changed. You allow your cell to not change. That means you're gonna lock your cell according to column. Okay, I will show you later, don't worry. Okay, for this part, for another one is A dollar sign 1. That means you're gonna lock your cell value according to row. So column can change, row cannot change. So this one, column cannot change, row can change. For this one, column cannot change, row cannot change. You can just refer to the dollar sign. Okay, so what can I show you here? This one, for the one that we used before, is using both column, both dollar sign for column and also row. So let's say we use for column. Okay, I will show you for column right now. Okay, let's say I want to calculate also the same one, 11 times with 30 here. If I want to log for the column, I press 11 times with 30 here, and you can see we still did not lock our cell F34 here, right? What I can do, let's say I want to lock it and then I press F4. First time I press F4, two dollar sign appear, right, for F and also for 34. That means the cell here gonna be locked according to column and also according to row. So if I press F4 one time again, it will appear F dollar sign 34. This means dollar sign here is this means the dollar sign before number means that we're gonna lock according to row, but now we're not gonna lock for row, we're gonna lock according to column. So how? Press F4 one time again, then you will find dollar sign before alphabet, which is for our column. So since you find this one, and then press enter. So right now, let's say just now I said that if we lock for the column, that means your value here not gonna change when you copy your formula here to column. So let's see, if I drag it to the right side, which is according to column, to the next column, you can see that our formula right now 330 and 330 and also 150. If I show you formula, for this part, B30 times with F34, right? And then for this part is C36, 5 times with 30, which is F34. You can see that here if we drag it and copy according to the next column, we can see that the T doesn't change. And let's say we drag it according to row, not to column. According to row like this, we can see that an error occur, which we doesn't get the value. This is because this cell right now is being locked according to column, not according to row. That's why if you drag down according to row, the formula here will not follow. It will only follow for the column. So let's go for lock our cell according to row. So how? First, equal sign 11 times with the T here. So now we're gonna lock according to row, right? That means we're gonna put $sign before 44 here. So how? Press F4 until you got this $sign before 44, before row. After you finish this one, and then press OK. So right now, since we lock this cell, the T, the F44 cell, according to row, that means after you copy and drag according to row, then the formula will follow. You can see here, the formula will still follow you, the T, the T, the T. This one F44, oh sorry, F44, F44, F44. But if you drag it according to column, which means to the right side or to the left side, you can see that the formula does not follow. Supposedly, if you see right here, 5 times with the T, right, should be 150. Right now it is 0 because it is an error right now if we drag to the according to column, because we actually lock on row, not lock on column. So right now, I hope you you are clear for the difference between when we lock for the column and also when we lock for the row. Okay, other than that, I want to show you the function, another exercise when we try I want to show you an exercise that related to absolute address using lock and using lock row and also lock column. If you refer to our Excel exercise task 3, Excel 2, your slide note Excel 2, which is absolute address and chart, on task 3, actually we need to create a map table using absolute address. So let's say I want to create addition table, which is 1 plus 1 should be 2, and then 1 plus 2 should be 3, 1 plus 3 should be 3. Should be 4, 1 plus 4 should be 5, right? So what can I do here is I can put absolute address here. So now we can solve for the first row first. Okay, first of all, we want to calculate 1 plus 1 equal to 2, 1 plus 1 equal to 1 plus 2 equal to 3. Okay, 1 plus 3 equal to 4, 1 plus 1 plus 4 equal to 5. So you can see that 1 here is our constant, 1 here. So this cell is our constant. Since this is our constant, this should be the cell that we're going to lock. So since we're going to copy the formula according to column here, so what we're going to do is we're going to lock using column, and then we're going to plus by 1, we're going to plus by 2 here, we're going to plus by 3 here. So what we can do is press equal, press 1 here, 1 here should be lock, right? So since we need to lock it according to column, so we need to press F4 until it lock according to column like this, and then we need to plus by 1 here, the cell 1 here. Okay, and then press enter. What you can do is copy and drag the formula, and then you can see that we got for the first line right now. which is 1 plus 1 equal 2, 1 plus 2 equal 3, 1 plus 3 equal 4. So we got the right formula for now. Okay, let's say I want to calculate until the end of this one, until the table 10, until 10. So how should I drag? So let's try to drag it. Let's see whether we got the correct answer. If you can see here, after I drag, you can see that 2 plus 1 should be 3, right? But the answer is 4. 2 plus 2 should be 4 here, but it got 5. So right now that means our calculation is wrong. Our formula is wrong. So how? You can see the table here, right? So now if we're gonna do 4 row, that means what we need to do is 1 here plus by 1. It should be 2. 2 plus by 1 should be 3. 3 plus 1 should be 4. 4 plus 1 should be 1. So we can see that 1 here is our another cell, you can see that 1 here is our another constant. So what can we do is, since this is our cell that we need to log, and we're gonna copy the formula according to row, so that means for this cell we're gonna log it according to row. So how? First, this part is calculate using log. We log using row, right? Log using column, right? For this part, we're gonna log using row. Okay, how? Go to this one again, and then click this, and for this one it is actually a constant for the first row here, and we need to drag it according to column. So what we can do is press F4 one time until we find 4 column, and until we log the column, and then we need to plus 1 here, and then we need to log for the row. So find until row, which is like this. So you can see 4 in front of 4 right now we have $sign. So after we finish this one, press enter. Now you done one. So what you can do is just drag again according to column, and then now you can drag this one according to row. So you can see the formula is right now, right? So you got the right answer. So what you can do, instead of doing one by one like this, you can just do it like this. Now you've done a addition table. So I suggest you to try for minus table, your minus table, and also your multiplication table. So let's say you have a younger sister or younger brother that needs to memorize multiplication table. You can just create multiplication table to your sister or your brother. Okay, so this is it. That's all for relative address and explanation on absolute address. If you've got any question, if you have any question related to this topic, I hope you guys can just telegram me, or you can just come to my consultation hours. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you and have a nice day.